really wanted the UniC team and delegates wanted to give you a very global review of this climate week. So this was prepared by myself and Félicité Arendo. To remind you, the Climate Week is an event that is between the most important ones of its kind, with this year 900 events and activities that occurred in New York. It was attended by businessmen, political parties, decision makers, and also representatives of the civil society. So it was hosted by the climate group. For the program of this year, there was the general theme, It's Time, and we will discover what it means later on. And I present to you our five delegates, Ali, Laura, Fatima, Meg, and Félicité. I want to say that Félicité was not finally able, for visa reasons, to participate in person for this event, but for our delegates, they covered 7 out of the 10 sub-themes that you see here of the program, and we covered together more than 50 events during this event. So the Climate Week was held from the 22nd to 29th September, and it was in parallel of the General Assembly of the UN. Giving you this detail, and you'll see why later on. So let's go back to this theme. It's time. So with the main message as follows, we should go to the transition for a more sustainable future. This is important, of course, and we have to keep relying on realistic goals and very concrete ones. So we have prepared for you a resume in 6 key points. The first is to remind of the climate injustice and how it is necessary to repair the damages and losses. We see it on this map. The most sensitive countries to climate changes are those who contributed the least over the course of history to the climate changes. So it is necessary to develop and have funds to cover these losses and damages. And it was also mentioned a lot, the reminding of the principle of the polluter payer, or the polluter pays, so that they should contribute to these investments in a very active manner. The second key takeaway, as Laura will talk to you about it later, it is the voluntary carbon markets, the VCM, and their growing role in the climate action. So what is VCM? It is the emissions purchase or sale of carbon credits that are done on voluntary basis. This is what is specific to these markets. They have to be regulated by measures to ensure their integrity, and for sure they were here really identified as an important lever to sustain the global decarbonization, as Mark Canver says, who is the executive director of the voluntary carbon markets initiative, and he says it's a key moment to leverage these markets and for them to gain importance, and to promote sustainable low carbon growth. For the coming point, the role of nature and biodiversity in climate action, it's not a new idea. We should just remind that the discussions held on this concept and focus mostly on finance that we call nature positive. It speaks about all the financial supports that are going to play a positive role on biodiversity and nature in general. So this has really been developed on a very high level. And finally, Ali will do some connections with this key point. We need financing strategies based on nature, and let us remind that it has to be very in coordination with the local communities.
I wish to highlight, and now I invite Gabrielle to add the link to this report that was published this year that highlights the importance of nature in reducing the effect of climate changes. This report was published during the event, and I invite you to check it out. And the fourth key takeaway, it is related to technology and AI, which were identified as accelerators of climate action. There are many different possibilities. This will allow us to optimize renewable energy deployment, to improve the climate risk assessment, and also to enhance transparency as well. There were many sessions which I attended regarding AI, and there are some challenges that were clearly highlighted, such as the high level of energy of technology, and also there are some problems regarding climate modeling as well. The following key takeaway was regarding renewable and decarbonization. So we need to overcome certain barriers. We talked about this during this event. So we need to simplify the authorization processes. We need to deploy investments for the network infrastructures. We also need legislation, a clear legislation framework, and the success factor requires the buy-in of the key stakeholders. And the last key takeaway was regarding sustainable innovation in green technologies, which have a critical role in the carbon footprint in a global perspective. We also talked about the need to reduce waste, and we also want to decarbonize numeric digital infrastructures. And of course, AI was identified as an essential lever. These events are actually on the Climate Week website. There's also some other recordings as well that you can find on explorers.org as well. And UniC team will also send you some replays that are available because we registered for some events that were available online. So the team will share with you the links to such events in the next few weeks.